My name is Kabute, and I'm still here with A.A. Johnson, but she's Joanne. She's Joanne. And we've been blessed to have the company of a very noble, distinguished gentleman who's joining us today for the newspaper review segment. This is Mr. Stephen Amwa from Maslock. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Great, 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 great. It's good to have you.
It's good to be here, too.
Any general sentiments when it comes to farmers and fishermen?
I'm a farmer myself.
Okay.
Actually, I'm into palm plantation, maize cropping.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
And I'm getting into cashew next year. So I'm one of them.
That's right.
I wish all farmers, is it a happy holiday?
That's right.
And I encourage them to work hard. Those who think farming is for those who have nothing to do, I think it's a joke, because we have a lot. As a country, it has to be a priority.
That's
because our main strength is agriculture. It's about 60% in terms of even job creation, the mainstay of our economy.
That's right.
The only thing is that we have not maximized these resources as a country, government after government and the people. But I think they shouldn't be demotivated, because it is the future of this country.
That's right. That's right.
Happy Farmers Day to you.
Thank you.
If you enjoy any kind of food out there, you know that you've got a farmer or a fisherman to thank for that.
Exactly.
But at this point, we want to get straight into our newspaper review segment, give you the headlines at this point. I have the daily graphic with me, and we've got the president inaugurates 1D, 1F at Botiano. That's one district, one factory at Botiano. We've also got the IGP on the front page of a daily graphic as well. Operation Father Christmas launched. I guess the name is very appropriate. Operation Father Christmas launched to deal with miscreants. But then also there's a lovely caption on the front page that I think would delight every single one of us. One of our most noble statesmen, former President J.A. Kufuor, celebrated his 80th birthday. I believe it was yesterday or so. And there's a special supplement inside the daily graphic that pays tributes to him as well. And that is also on the front page. On the back page, we say Sankofa OCTP partners provide water system for 3 communities. And then as well, we have Ghana Health Services advises the public against misuse and abuse of medications. John, what do you have on the daily graphic?
I have the daily guide.
Daily guide, sorry.
And it says NPP will win the 2020 elections.
I'm sure Stephen agrees.
Yes, I agree, and it's my hope and my prayer.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's the president himself saying this, and more grease to your elbows, Mr. President. Mahama Boy begs in reference to Sami Jemfi. Men's Gold staff on forced leave. Wow.
I see.
And the new Ameri deal laid in Parliament. So that's the front page of the daily guide.
Great. Yes, Stephen.
On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, most authoritative newspaper, President cuts sword for construction of 60 million USD Jamestown Fishing Port Complex.
Okay.
And then other stories, we have police to deploy 14,000 personnel for Christmas. And then we have biggest diaper factory in sub-Saharan Africa established in Accra under 1D, 1F. I think it's a good news. 72 farmers, fishers to be honored today. And we also have the National Policy Summit coming off.
That's right.
National Policy Summit. And we have...
I see your face in there.
Yeah, I'm there. And you know what? I think Opoku, we are 4 among the 8. All of us. John Kumar, Eric, Nana Pia, Stephen, and others. And my friends, Free Zone, and
that's
then
right.
my uncle, Dr. Kiki Sapon. But it was 50%.
That's right.
I mean, when people are bragging, we don't want to talk. We are the silent achievers.
Stephen had to just punch that one in there, you know. So I guess let's start with the 1D, 1F, all right? 1D, 1F, that's the president commissioning the latest one district, one factory at Botiano. And I guess 1D, 1F is such a significant aspect of this government's, you know, promise to help spearhead the whole industrialization policy. So says President Akufo-Addo has inaugurated the Sunda Ghana Diaper Limited, the largest diaper making factory in sub-Saharan Africa. The company is located at Botiano in the Gan West municipality in the Greater Accra region and is operating under the government's One District, One Factory initiative. So as you can see in the middle spread, it gives you a full outlay honestly, it's quite impressive to see that we have a diaper manufacturing company setting up in Ghana, and indeed, it being put out as the largest within the sub-Saharan African enclave. So I guess it's a noble initiative. I pray that both from a management point of view, it is sustained and maintained so that it can grow and expand and, even have its products cross over the boundaries to cover the entire sub-region as well. I guess that's the only way we would see the full impact of it on our environment. So I guess, you are close to these initiatives, and they are being rolled out. How do you think it's going,
I think it is an inevitable policy we need, because we are suffering as a people because of our inability to industrialize our society. Government after government, all governments, not only one. And any country where you depend on import, in terms of your currency, in terms of job creation, you are in trouble. And sometimes it saddens my heart that we have a country such as Ghana, that we have forest, semi-forest, savanna, semi-savanna, coastal belt, wide range of precious mineral resources, wide range of fruits, suckers, tubers. We have all these timber, everything. Yet even wood products we import and that's what we've been suffering for so many years. I think 1D, 1F is one of the most reputable, remarkable policies or projects. But you said something that let us be careful that we can sustain it. How many industries or companies are existing after independence in Ghana here? It's a major problem. So as much as the government of the day is trying hard to make sure we solve this problem, I'll urge them to be able to define clearly the value chain and moving forward how these things can exist for not less than 40 years. I think that's the advice I'll give to them.
I appreciate that. There's a story that was in your newspaper as well, which is the police operations for the Christmas season. It talks about Operation Father Christmas. I'm not sure we could have found a more reflective name for this operation as well. And in the Daily Graphic, it says, I think it's on your back page. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
A total of 14,000 police personnel will be deployed across the country during Christmas festive to maintain law and order. Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCOP George Alex Mensah, the Director General of Police Operations, has disclosed. He said the personnel will be drawn from the Criminal Investigation Department Police Operational Unit, Motor Traffic and Transport Units, Special Weapon and Tactics, Counter-Terrorism Unit, and National Highway Patrol, among others. And I think it's meant to make sure that normally during these festives,
that's right,
a lot of criminals, antisocial behaviors in our society, and these are the contingency measures. I hope and pray operationally they'll give us results, because women are children. Just I think recently one of the communities in one of the regions, they killed somebody, opened fire on police, and they were able to arrest, I think, 4. And it's serious. I think crime in this part of the world, we need to be careful. So the police is good. It's good move, and we pat their shoulders, but we want to see action.
We want to
results.
See action.
We don't want any issues coming Christmas.
That's true.
I want to see my mom, my friends, Joy FM, everybody alive. Yes, Ghana is a happy country.
That's true. I agree on that. And with this festive season, all of the children are back home on holidays. All of our families across, in different parts of the world are also back home as well for holidays. There are so many events that will be happening all across town. And sometimes, I guess, for all of us as citizens, it's also important for us to also have a certain security consciousness. When we're stepping out of home, sometimes the kind of information that we give out, even on the phone about our activities, sometimes even on social media and things like that, we should still be mindful that in this time, in this season, it's not everybody who is well or noble intentioned, so that we can also support the police to be able to support us, But it's good to realize, it's interesting realizing that, Charlie, the police have some fantastic fleet of cars in town nowadays. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all.
I think maybe here, somebody say politics, but I think the president is doing well.
No, I think it was a good move.
They are putting a lot of measures in place, but we want to see that the cars are well maintained.
That's right.
And they are put to good use.
That's right.
That is our problem, because I think all governments, when they come, they try to buy police cars and other things. But the maintenance, after a few years, you see they are in deplorable states. I don't think it's the best. Maybe I'll forget, I beg you. My mom cannot speak English.
Okay.
And I have to tell my mom, I say, me man happy family day. Nichi never day. Me man ekurafuo enigie pa ene. Until apunyaminsa niare. And then belated happy birthday to former president. And then the president too, and the vice, and the family. Right. And then the opposition, all the opposition parties.
That's right.
I wish them.
Stephen is being very generous this morning. Very generous.
Oh, I am.
But it's in good faith. It's in good faith. It's in good faith. So the onus lies on all of us, you and I, to make sure that we are security conscious during this festive season, even as the police also does their bit to support us to maintain law and order and to maintain peace and safety for all of us. Joanne, you want to take us through the president being confident about winning 2020?
Yes, I would love to do that. But before I do that, there's something I missed. The National Petroleum Authority is telling the public that you should come and report to them if you see anything untoward. So they want to know your concerns about cheating at the pumps, bad customer service, safety issues, and suspected poor quality of fuel. So if you go and buy fuel anywhere and you realize that they've given you less than the 100 cedis you bought, call the NPA. If you go and they treat you really badly, call the NPA. Safety issues, call the NPA. And for poor quality of fuel, if you use the fuel and you realize that your car starts making some funny sounds, please call the NPA. It's for our own good. So don't feel like you're going to be the snitch of the town. Well, it's very necessary for standards to be improved for our own safety. We don't want any more accidents happening. Right. So help the NPA help us.
That's right.
Great.
That's right.
So NPP will win 2020, says Nana Akufo-Addo. The president has predicted that the ruling party, NPP, will emphatically win the 2020 general elections. He was optimistic that the achievements of the administration in the last 2 years are enough to secure another landslide victory for the NPP in the 2020 polls. He says that Ghanaians would have no option but to retain the NPP after his 4-year term due to the massive development of the country. He seems pretty confident.
Well, you would expect him to be so. I mean, you don't expect anything different at this point. But I guess, from his evaluation of things, from what he has led his government to be able to do over the period, I guess he feels pretty confident about it. And we still have, about 2 years more to go, right? So there's still a lot of things to be done. And I guess maybe he knows what is under his belt to be released as we go along, so that that can make a difference.
Gradually, things are improving. I mean, they are facts, not politics. But sometimes one painful thing is that we don't really pick the relevant parameters and see whether we are moving on as a country. Because to develop a country is a process. And there should always be a reference point, and the facts and figures are there. But sometimes we actually shield them, and then some people make arbitrary statement and it becomes like things go haywire. And it's very risky. It can affect decision making as a country. The arbitrariness that will come into our decision making affect all of us.
Well, what are some of these facts?
Oh, but you check. I mean, all over the world, there are key parameters you check. We have the primary macro indicators. When you talk, they say, these are the economies. But if it's not them, you cannot move a country. They are factuals. I mean, I don't want to go into them, but lending rate now, if you go to the bank to borrow, it used to be between 33 and 40. Now it's between 22, 27. I mean, you can ask the banks. If not anything at all. Yesterday I bought 3, is a yam. Do you say what yam?
Tubers.
Tubers of yam at the roundabout there, where Nanado used to live, those areas. Okay. 5 big ones, 20 cedis. I'm a farmer myself. I'm into cassava farm. Last 2 years, the women will bring, they call it ahomabaku in local dialect. They buy 220, then they will approve to do gari or sell it by the roadside. This year, 120. I'm not getting people to buy. So I'm not saying there is no hardship, but it looks like it's being mitigated gradually. Okay. If you move away from the economy, most taxes, you check taxes on drugs that are not actually produced in Ghana, taxes on spare parts, on real estate. You go and check. Even fuel, as March last year, the tax on it was 40%. Now it's 26%. So it would have gone even higher. So developing a country is a process. And developing country, one key area you look at is the pro-poor policies. And check all of them. Now, by the grace of God, from primary school to SHS, of course it comes with challenges, I must admit. A child that doesn't even have a father can have education up to senior high school. So it's gradual. Nurses' allowances restored, teachers, of course, with arrears, but it's better than totally removed. So there's hardship, we agree. But if you look at the progress being made, it means gradually we are getting there. Now, our debt to GDP from 73 to 56 or 57, and the 2 years, see the railway line being fixed. So gradually, you see that Ghana is going back to its old good days. Just that we need to be patient. It doesn't mean there are no challenges. And we need to also advise the government that, hey, there are still challenges. There are areas we need to tackle and do well. But I think from what the government actually inherited, we understand finance and economy. If treasury bill rate is coming, that means the country is doing well. And now it's moved from about 19 point something way down. Even annually it was about 22 point something way down. Government policy rate was about 25. That's government own interest rate, 25.5 or 26. Now it's moved way down, below 20, far below 20. You check our economy growing over 8% from 3.7%. So these figures are factual. They are there, and you see them. But one problem too is the dollar rate. We can't only talk about the good thing.
That's true.
And the dollar rate, it's NPP, NDC that we have been doing politics with it. We all have failed over 50 years. Do you know why? Because everything we wear here, about 99%, we import them. We demand for dollar. And once we demand for dollar, CD will be depreciated. And the market performance of movement can also affect our CD. Mind you, two factors are fighting. We can be strong, but the dollar can be stronger. So when it comes to dollar issue, all parties, including my own party, MPP, over the years, we have not. And that is why I think we need to encourage Nana to work harder when it comes to 1D, 1F. Because if we are producing all the things,
they will be reducing our demand for the dollar, and therefore.
For instance, this year land we have not imported any maize. If that is true, definitely it's going to have a huge. If you check free zone, they've done a lot of importation as against a lot of exportation as against importation. So these are all good signs. But
so
of
bottom
course,
line is
it's
you agree
gradual.
with the president.
Things are going on. So what the president is saying, I think there are facts and figures to underpin his statement. And of course, there are challenges. So Mr. President, please upscale your performance. You are doing well, but go higher, higher, higher.
Mr. President, you need to take this man with you on campaigns. Okay, so I'm going to be taking the My Joy Online News, all the headlines on the website. So we begin with the first one, which says, big raid as 16 Chinese with fresh guns arrested over illegal mining. The single biggest arrest of suspected illegal miners has been affected in the Ashanti region. Fresh guns. What are they going to do with fresh guns?
What are guns meant?
No, I mean like, you know what I mean when I ask what are they going to do with what, I mean, goodness gracious. I'm glad that has happened. And an open letter to Mr. President on the celebration of the 2018 National Farmers' Day. Today marks exactly 2 years when Ghanaians went to the polls to elect you in a historic election with a 4-year mandate.
I see.
That is something we all need to read. The next one is government to own 10% of a national airline. The government will own 10% of the national carrier due to begin operations next year. For me, this is good news. I like the fact that we are going to have an airline that says Ghana. I don't know what they're going to call it, but we know that it's an airplane that is branded with Ghana. I miss seeing
sustainability.
That is always the issue.
Praying.
That is always the issue. I just miss seeing an airline with a Ghana flag on it.
But I used to board it. You know the big one there at the airport? The big one.
DC-10, yes.
The first time I boarded that, I was like, wow, this is like a house. I've boarded that one before. And that one, the turbulence and other things do not affect them too much.
I see.
It's
Well, John,
okay,
I guess in your regular life, this reflects to you on your side there. So let's go.
Yes, my regular life. ASAP welcomes new tariff for gas transported to Ghana. Good morning, Mr. Ben Boache. The Africa Center for Energy Policy.
No,
Okay. So Bombardier expects to deliver up to 155 business aircraft in 2019.
Wow.
The next one says farmers tired of Farmers Day want better prices and not prizes. So we need to listen to the farmers and take their wants into consideration. Mr. Amewu, Honorable Amewu withdraws a merry agreement and submits renegotiated deal. We looked at that in our headlines in the papers. The photo of the week, the ignored warning sign at Wager. There's danger on the Wager Ridge.
Yeah.
That needs to be tackled immediately.
Yeah, and you know, there's this thing about us. I don't know. I guess it is a difficult situation being faced with, you know, with change. But we have a strong tendency most of the time of seeing clear signs of danger, and yet we're praying that the danger shouldn't happen. You know, this thing that's happening around Wager Kaswa area, where the scientists, the professionals are telling us that any day, any time, it is possible that we could have some difficult situations. And yet we have residents continuing to, you know, develop the area, and we are still praying and hoping that it will not happen. You know,
and you know why the prayer will not be answered? Prayer alone does not answer.
Well, works have to follow, right?
Exactly.
Action. That's true.
Yes, prayer
That's true.
And not just
That's true.
action.
Yes.
And action.
So it's like a tripod stand.
That's true.
Without a tree, it will
That's
not
true.
work. So we should pray and have favor act.
And act up as
Exactly.
well. No, that's true. That's true. Well, people, we're still here on the Topsy-Turvy edition of the AM show right here on the JoyNews channel. Myself, Joanne, and Mr. Stephen Amwa from Maslock have been reviewing the newspapers.